I have with me one of my great friends, il signor Walter Pisano from Tulio's Restaurant. Walter, come stai?
Hey, Benny.
What's it like to be one of the top chefs in Seattle?
Ah,
You know, they pay me to say this type
did they?
of stuff.
Okay. How much do I owe you then?
I don't know. Last time when I came to your restaurant for dinner, you actually charged me for the wine. So when I come back again, I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 bottles of wine. So you should do it.
No problem. We can take care of you. No
You
problem.
rascal. Now, how long have we known each other? Was it almost 12 years?
12 years,
12
yeah.
years. It was your dad, actually, who introduced us, the two of us.
Yep.
And by the way, for those of you that don't know, Walter's dad, that's the name of the restaurant, is after your dad. He was also a restaurateur in his old days.
Yep, in Manhattan. Yeah, he spent a lot of time in
And
the
then you go
restaurant.
out and you start cooking French food instead.
Well, for a
You
little
must have
while.
broken the poor man's
Well,
heart.
and then my dad grabbed me and, kind of redirected me and said, get back into Italian, so.
What are you doing for us? I mean, the title of the recipe is Buccatini, and you are going to show us this guy later. But what's interesting is that this is not a limiting factor. I mean, Buccatini is a type of a cut of pasta, and he'll tell us all about it. But you can make this with spaghetti. You can do this with penne. I mean, ultimately, is the sauce that's in there, you can adapt it to any kind of pasta that you would want to make.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Buccatini was one of my dad's favorite pasta shapes, so that's why I incorporated a lot with my cooking.
I know.
So,
It's very special
so I
to
love it.
connect the food with the family and the memories.
Yep.
You know what? I'm talking too much. You go
Okay.
ahead. You show me what you got going.
All right, we have a little olive oil. This is the Buccatini pasta, which is a thick pasta that has a little hole in it. And we're going to go ahead and drop it into the water.
All right.
You want to make sure your water's boiling. I'm also going to put a liberal pinch of salt in there.
Liberal?
Liberal, to kind of,
It's a
season
half
the
a pound of
pasta.
salt you put in there.
Hey, that's okay.
You know,
People say
every time I
salt.
come to your place, I gain weight. I have to work. Every time I come to your place, I get to bring my own personal tailor because by the time I come out, I don't fit in my clothes anymore. And you know now that I lost weight, I like to look good.
Well, you're
dangerous
looking very
for
good.
me.
Very good. Well, we got to, like I said, we got to take care of you. We have a little olive oil in here. We're also going to add a little butter too, and it starts to sizzle.
Okay.
Then over here I have some pancetta.
Okay.
And it's Italian bacon. Typically it's encrusted with some black pepper. We're going to add black pepper to this dish later on. I've already diced some up, but if you get it in a roll like this, you can just go ahead and dice it in the small dices.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
You still do the dicing at the restaurant? And now you got a whole crew that does it for
You have a crew, but I still, for me cooking, I still love to just be handling
You just
the
like
food.
to jump in there and get it done.
Yeah, I like to handle the food. I mean, it's what it's all about for me is the food. I mean, really. I mean, I love people.
Listen.
I love when you come in too, but it's about the food. Okay, so we have a little pancetta.
Okay.
We're going to put that in right now. And
Really, what you're trying to do now here, let me give you the rest. You want to crust it up a little bit.
we do.
Pancetta, by the way, for those of you at home who are not of Italian origin or have not worked with pancetta before, pancetta actually is named after the part of the pig where it's made from. It's like bacon, pancia, which means stomach, and pancetta, the small part of it.
That's right.
In Italy, what we do, instead of eating the bacon on a flat slab, we roll it. We spice it up with salt, pepper, oregano. Then each region's got their own way of doing things. And what is most incredible about it, and you can really see it as you look at it, is that it's not just like pure fat. It's not smoked. It's actually let to hang, I think, for 3 or 4 months to give it flavor. And then all the spices like the oregano, the thyme, the salt, completely penetrate on the inside. So it's got a lot of layers of flavor to it.
Okay, I'm going to hand this to you, Nick, if you can pull that off to the side.
Right away, we'll be done.
And then we have a leek here, if you want to grab me the leek.
Sir, there is
So,
your leek.
My leek. So here's the leek, which is one of my favorite vegetables, and it's also a vegetable that's used quite a bit when I was doing my French cooking years ago.
I know. I stopped making fun of you when it comes to that. I do it too often now.
So this is how you want to.
I love the way you cut, by the way. You open it up, and then your hand will like, ta-ta.
This is it. We want to clean it. And this is you put it in some water, and you're able to clean it, and it gets all the excess dirt.
No. This for the people at home. Seriously, when you say this, be able to clean. In other words, you like to keep it whole.
I keep it whole so you can actually put it in the water, in a sink or so forth.
Well, that's a little good pointer because one of the mistakes that I always have made, I always cut the top off and then I have to shuffle this in the water and it picks up a lot of too much water that way.
Exactly.
Good
So then
idea.
you want to drain
Good
it.
idea.
So and then you would cut it through, and typically I cut it. We can actually go and do this here, just to show. You cut it through. And again, everything I use typically when I make a pasta is I cut it about the same size. So we're going to cut it the same size as the pancetta.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it there. So since we didn't really put this through the water, I'm going to go ahead and use the one that I did right here. So we have
You're
a little
always
leek
so
here.
precise and concerned.
Well, that's
You're
me.
always like so attentive.
That's just me, and it's the way I love to cook.
What
right?
you guys don't know about him is that he's quiet, but he is a rascal. You cause more problem than anybody knows.
Well, yeah, I'm the silent chef, right?
Yeah, solid. I see you in action.
Okay, so now we're getting some crispiness there. You can see the color's wonderful. And we have the leeks, and now we're going to do a little deglazing. This is white balsamic. Now, you see a lot of the dark balsamic. And
Yes.
the reason I chose this is because, A, you still get the flavor of the dark balsamic, not quite as rich and robust, but it's white and it
It
doesn't
has a
take away-
wonderful roundness.
Yep.
It's the sweet finish that you're looking for.
Come over here, you got to smell this.
No, I was. No, what I love about it is, as you have it in there, is how you perfectly crystallize the pancetta. And what I think is the important technique there, you actually dice the pancetta very fine. That's how it picks up the crisp.
Yep. Now we're going to go ahead and add the chicken stock. The vinegar is cooked down a little bit, so it takes a little bit of the acid away. And got wonderful chicken stock
Now,
here.
chicken stock is the natural. Would you also, I mean, if you didn't have chicken stock, how about putting some beef stock in there?
I would do probably vegetable stock instead.
Vegetable?
Yeah, and you can actually make a great vegetable stock at home with just all the scraps of the vegetable, put some water, a little bay leaf, bring it to a boil, let it sit
Now
for an
walk
hour.
us through this, because there's a lot of people that ask, you know, I really don't want to be using too much beef stock. I mean, obviously, this recipe has meat in it, so it's not the case. But if somebody wanted to make a soup, and instead of using chicken stock, doing vegetable stock, what would be like, right off the top of your head, a real quick thing that you could tell us how to make it?
With a vegetable, well,
Time is going.
Okay.
Click, 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 click.
So
Pressure you?
I would say just, you just add it all in and,
What would you go like? Carrots and then what?
carrots, onions, celery, pretty much any vegetable you have in there, in your garden. And if you have like vegetable or herbs in your garden, get your herbs, your rosemary, your thyme, sage, a couple of sprigs of that, a bay leaf. Typically people have bay leaves, peppercorns, put it in the pot, bring it to a boil. I'm going to have to ask you to grab me some rosemary there. Perfect. That's some beautiful
Consider
rosemary.
me your sous chef.
Thank you. So this is one of my favorite smells, the rosemary.
And you like to just like...
Just break it off. It's just wonderful, and it's a great herb, and it's an easy herb to grow in the garden. And once in a while, if you want to feel like you're roaming, you could put a little bit behind your ear and walk around. I think you'd look good with that.
Yeah. I got the point on that shot. I'll talk about it you later.
That's what 12 years of knowing each other.
And well, that works out good. You all have to know, by the way, that I love going to his restaurant. Last night he made me an incredible fish dish that just, next series, I'm going to bring you back with a fish alone.
Oh, I love it.
Yogurt.
I
Who
love
would
it.
expect to actually have yogurt in a fish sauce?
I love it. So now, here again, you have to come back over because cooking is all about the smells and, hearing.
I
It's
am
just
stunned how
wonderful.
simple this is. You have no cream.
No cream.
You have no thickness. So just the stock is now glazing, picking up everything.
Yep.
What is this, by the way?
This is the ricotta that will finish it when we're at the end.
Oh,
We're gonna
so the
garnish it
ricotta,
with
we use it as a binder at the end.
Actually, we're going to garnish it right on top. So, you could choose to put it on or choose not to, but I like it at the top at the end so you can kind of mix it in.
Very Italian. I mean, really rustic Italian. Italians don't like to have very heavy sauces. They just like to have things, just coating things through. The typical way of serving things in other countries than Italy, Italian-style food, when there's a lot of tomato sauce, a lot of cream-based sauce, that is not the way in which things are done. Right. And you're very passionate going back to the past, bringing the roots in, and you really realize it that way all the time.
Well, to me, it's all about simplicity. And the ricotta, putting it on top of the pasta then was another thing my father taught me. We used to make a wonderful filete di pomodoro tomato sauce with prosciutto in it, and then he'd always put like fresh ricotta on top, and we'd mix it in right at the end, and it kind of cooled the pasta down a little bit, but it just added that richness. So another trick that my father showed me.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, there was a wonderful glimmer right in his eyes. We're going to clean up here everything. I'm going to come back and I'll show you exactly how to plate it to make sure that this is going to look like this.